just like an overview of some of the items that I got. I'm so excited. Okay, so with the e.l.f. Putty bronzer, I got the shade Tan Lines. That's what the packaging looks like. The container itself, the product itself, is pretty small. I did get one of their putty blushes in Turks and Caicos, and it's the same size as their blushes, just for reference. But I also did get their new brightening concealer. I got their e.l.f. Big Mood mascara. I did do like a little haul. I think that's the video I did before this. So the first thing I want to open is the complexion brush and sponge duo because I need to wet the sponge. I do have some e.l.f. sponges that I already wet. The concealer one, and then this one. I think this came with like a collection. I can't remember what it was. Okay, so I got my sponge wet, and it's actually the same as this one, but it feels just as soft, just as squishy. It literally feels the same. Now let's get into primer. So I did get the Mint Melt Cooling Face Primer. I also got their Oil Control Pore Minimizing Serum. I don't really get oily, but I liked the pore minimizing. I do have the Putty Primer Trio. I also got the Facial Oil Mist in the balancing kind. It says need a boost, mist onto face throughout the day. So let's open this up and try it out. Also, in case you guys didn't know, e.l.f. is cruelty free, and I think all their products are vegan as well. I'm just gonna spray this to see what the sprayer is like. Ooh. I don't like the smell. It smells kind of like perfume. It's infused with geranium oil, but I'm gonna spray it on regardless. Oh, this is cute. When you open this package, it says, as a matter of fact, you're cute as a button. That is so cute. I love that. Okay, so we have the Oil Control Pore Minimizing Serum with niacinamide, willow bark extract, and tea tree. Love the packaging. It's a glass bottle. Really nice size. This is also really scented. It's a really nice smell, but it smells like a perfume. Like I would actually wear this as a perfume. It smells really good. I just hope that it doesn't break me out. And for skincare, I don't really like it to be super fragrance, but regardless. Okay, this says a pea size amount, so I'm just gonna do a dot here and a dot here. It feels a little bit thicker than like a normal serum. I don't have super enlarged pores. I would say it did help fill them in a little. I'm just gonna put my hair back so that we don't get makeup into the hair. So I think out of the Putty Primer Trio, I want to use the poreless one. They do have a luminizing one, and they also have the mattifying, and then they just came out with like the acne fighting one, which I don't have today. I just took out my little Putty Primer brush, and I love how this has like the little scoop on it. I just put a little bit on my applicator, and I'm gonna put it right where I have pores, or you know, more prominent pores. Okay, so I definitely feel like adding the poreless Putty Primer really helped that serum. I feel like filled them in a little, but then adding the poreless Putty Primer on top, I really am liking what the skin's looking like so far. Now let's put on the Mint Melt Cooling Face Primer. I've seen this all over the internet. It's supposed to be one of those tacky primers. It comes in this super pretty mint packaging, and it does come with a pump. Okay, so I'm going to just pump out a little bit on my hand so you guys can see what it looks like. Ooh. So it is pretty runny. It has a very light mint scent, not bad at all. Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. It's so sticky. First, I'm gonna do my brows, and I will be using the e.l.f. I think it's called the Liner and Brow Cream, and I am using mine in light brown today. This is one of my favorite brow pomades. I have to do this brow first because this brow always gives me issues. So I usually do my shitty brow first, and then I do my good brow after. This brow pomade is super creamy, but it lasts all day. That's what I love the most about it. Okay, so I basically have my outline. I'm going to now use the Ultra Precise Brow Pencil, and this is like super fine tip on it. Love this, lasts all day. Okay, brows are on. I'm gonna set them with the e.l.f. Wow Brow Gel in the shade Neutral Brown. That's a little close-up of the applicator. It's got a really small, precise brush, or spoolie rather. Almost forgot, I did get the Clear Brow and Lash Mascara, so I'm gonna add this on top even though I did the Wow Brow Gel. It's got like two different sides. One says Lash, one says Brow. I've heard really good things about this. I'm kind of hoping it's like one of those brow gels that really stick the brows down. It's a pretty wet formula, but it's not like taking up the product, which I can appreciate. I was worried that it would like take away. And you could obviously use the other side, even though it says Lash. Like, I think what I would do is I'll just use both sides. When one of the other sides runs out, I'll just use the other side. I'm assuming it's the same formula, it's just different wands. So to me, it doesn't look like it took any of the brow pomade or anything like that off, but the brush on the wand does have some product in it. That doesn't bother me. I'll be the only person using this, so that's not a big deal to me. Next time I'll probably try to use this before going in with a pomade, but it's fine. So for foundation today, I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Camo CC Cream Broad Spectrum SPF 30. Mine is in the shade Light 210N. I tried this out one other time before this, but I was a little bit too fair and it was too dark on me. So I'm hoping where I got a little bit of a tan, this will be a good shade for me. This is supposed to be color correcting, full coverage, natural finish. This is $14, so it's a little bit more expensive, and it does have the added SPF in it. This does come with a pump, and I think I'll use this sponge that came in that duo. Usually how I do this is I dot it on my finger and then I dot it on my face. This is a pretty thick formula and it looks like it might be too light now, but I feel like the one time I used this, it did oxidize on me a little bit. You can smell the SPF 30 in this a little bit, but I kind of like that smell, so I don't really mind it. I'm gonna do one side first because if it dries quickly, I want to be able to blend it in as I go, and I don't want it to dry down too quick on me. I feel like this is looking a lot better on my skin than the first time I tried it. I'm gonna have to blend this one down the neck, so let me do that. I maybe used a full pump for like my whole face. This has a lot of coverage. Definitely could get it to full coverage for sure. So I'm just taking whatever's left over and putting it on my forehead. So excited about these Putty bronzers. So again, I got my Putty bronzer in the shade Tan Lines. This is infused with argan oil and vitamin E, and the Putty blushes are also infused with argan oil and vitamin E. This, I believe, is a cream to powder finish, and I'm not sure about the blushes. So this is pretty small packaging. Like, I feel like getting a brush in there, if you had like a pretty big brush, might be a little difficult. I did pick up their contour brush, so I'm hoping that I could use this, but I don't even know if this will fit in there. I feel like this is gonna be a pretty good shade for me, so let's go in with the contour brush. Yeah, see, this brush hardly even fits in there. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking the brush and kind of like going like that because again, it doesn't fit in there. This is definitely a small container, but you can work with it. It's not a big deal. Super easy to work with. It's not bringing up any of the foundation. I can definitely see how it dries to a powder finish. I'm seeing that for sure. It's definitely buildable. I probably could have even gone with a little bit deeper of a shade, but I'm just slowly building it up because, again, I'm not used to cream products. Before going further with that Putty bronzer, I want to go in with their Sculpt and Shade Cream Contour Palette. These have been out for a long time. I've just never tried them. And I did also get the powder one. I'm going to go in with this lightest shade here and add that to the cheekbones as well. I feel so much more comfortable blending with a sponge, so I feel like this is looking a lot better than with the brush, although I do like that brush. I just need to get used to it a little bit more. I don't know if I like the Putty one better or this. I feel like for the price, this is really good because you get 4 shades. This you could use as like a brightening shade. You could probably put it on your lids. You could go underneath your contour with it. All right, so for concealer, I got the e.l.f. Flawless Brightening Concealer in the shade Light 26N. I do also have their original camo concealer and then the hydrating one. Comes in one of the little clicky pens, so we gotta click it up and get some product out. So with this, I'm just gonna go into my inner corners. See, the only thing I don't like about these is you can never tell how much you're getting out, and then if you click out too much, you kind of have to use it or else you have to wipe it off, and it's just, because then it will get all over the inside of the cap. I'm going to take my clean end of this concealer sponge. I don't know what the exact name of it is, but I'm going to take the clean side and blend this out. So this isn't like full coverage or anything, but it definitely brightened up my inner corners. That's one of the things I'm self-conscious about, is the inner corners of my eyes. They're pretty dark, I feel like, and wow, I really like that. I feel like on light makeup day, that is something I'm going to be really into. As long as it doesn't crease badly on me, I'm into it. They do have other shades. At my Walmart, they didn't have a ton of shades, but they do carry other shades of that brightening concealer. Okay, so I've decided what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mix the original camo with the hydrating. In the hydrating concealer, I have medium peach. That's when I'm more like tan. That's my summer shade. And then I'm not sure what the original shade is. It doesn't have a sticker on the bottom like the other one, so I'm sorry, I'm not sure what shade that is. What I'll do is I'll take the hydrating one, put a little bit on so that it can sit on the under eye for a second, and then I'll add the original camo concealer because that one I think dries pretty quickly, so we'll see how it works. This is the hydrating. Just put a tiny bit on. You don't need a lot of this stuff because it is super full coverage. Now I'm gonna add the original camo concealer. This one is a pretty light shade, so I'm gonna kind of put it more towards the inner corner. So before I set the under eyes, I want to go in with the Putty blush. And these don't have like the shades on the packaging. That's the only thing I don't really like about that. And I go in with the Putty applicator. I just got a little bit on my brush and then going in on the cheeks. This brush is so soft. I feel like it's blending everything really well. I feel like the blush just brought life back to my face. Ooh. This looks like it has a little bit of luminosity to it. It doesn't look as matte as the bronzer. So for setting powder, I got the HD powder in Soft Luminance. And I do have the other setting powder that is like a luminous one, but I wanted to try this one out because that other one wasn't my favorite. The Halo Glow, that's the other one that I got. I didn't like that for under the eyes, so I'm hoping I like the HD powder. Really like the packaging on this. It has the little sifter that you can like swivel to the side and close it. Really, really like that. So again, I'm just gonna take the like last clean side of the sponge that I have, get any creasing out, and then I'm gonna set my under eyes. So this has glitter in it, very small glitter particles, but let me see if I can show you. Okay, I don't know if you can see the glitter in that. As a setting powder, under the eyes, definitely a no-go for me. So let me just go in with the Halo Glow setting powder with a sponge and just go over that a little bit. This one has like more of a yellow tone to it, the Halo Glow setting powder. And I don't find that this has like actual glitter in it. The Halo Glow setting powder, I had used it with a brush before. I used it with a sponge this time, obviously, and I feel like it looks so much better. I'm so happy. I really thought that I didn't like that. So the HD powder, not my favorite for under the eyes. I think what I'll do is I'll set my bronzer with this palette, the Sculpt and Shape palette. This one is the powder one, and it does have a highlighter in it. I did not get a powder blush, so we're just gonna have to stick with the Putty blush. I could probably add a little bit more if I needed to, but I think I'll go in with this shade from the palette. Okay, so I set my bronzer. I want to go in with a little bit more of the Putty blush. The really nice thing is I feel like you can put this over powder. For highlighters, I have the e.l.f. Glow Beam highlight palette, and then I have the highlight from the Contour Sculpt palette, so maybe I can mix a few of these. The highlight from this palette is definitely a natural highlight, but I love those and I think it looks really pretty, but I want to amp it up a little bit. So I think I will use this middle shade here. I've tried this palette a couple times. It's really pretty. I'm just going to dull that down a little bit with my sponge. Before I go in with eyeshadow, I want to go in with their Dewy Setting Mist in Coconut. I actually found this at TJ Maxx for $3.99, and I was surprised to see this there, but of course I picked it up. I love the packaging on all the e.l.f. products. They do such a good job with packaging and making you feel like you're using luxury products that cost way more, but you're not. You're really just probably shopping at Walmart and, you know, just living your best life. I just want to give this a spritz so I can see. Okay. The sprayer's a little aggressive on this, so I'm going to hold it way back and hopefully it doesn't mess up my makeup. The mister on that definitely isn't the best, but the smell of it is so light and fresh. I think I'd probably actually use that before going in with makeup just because the mister, not my favorite. All right, so I got 2 of their No Budge shadow sticks. I got one from the Mint Melt collection, and then I got one of just like their regular ones. I feel like these are good for like, if you're just on the go, you want something really quick and easy, and that's what I'm all about. So I would really like to try to use these today, but I did get their Mint Melt eyeshadow palette, and this was in chocolate mint, so I thought I could use some of the browns in here. First, I'm gonna go in with the No Budge shadow stick from the Mint Melt collection, and this one is in the shade Melt With Me. I'm just gonna put that all over the lid. Okay, so I've blended that out a little bit, and now I'm gonna go in with this brown shadow from the palette using the same brush. e.l.f. shadows, from what I've tried in the past, are pretty pigmented. The eyeshadow palette from the Mint Melt collection is like $1 more than their regular bite-sized eyeshadow palettes. The No Budge eyeshadow stick from that Mint Melt collection, it does have a little bit of shimmer to it, but nothing too intense. It almost looks matte once you blend it out. I built that brown shade up a little bit, and now I'm just going in with a clean, fluffy brush. Next, I'm going to go in with that deeper brown shade in the palette with a little bit more of like a domed blending brush. Now I'm going to go in with that same fluffy brush that had nothing on it and start to blend that. Really want to try out this other No Budge shadow stick. This one is in the shade Magnetic Pull. I'm just going to put that a little bit further than halfway. I love that shade so much. I would definitely just wear this alone and just probably pat it out with my finger or something. Love this. I think I'm going to go in with the lighter shimmer shade on the inner corner, maybe on the brow bone a little bit. And that mint shade, I'll have to test out another time. It felt a little bit powdery. Okay, so next I wanted to have a little battle of the new mascaras. So we have the Lash It Loud Volumizing Mascara in the shade Black. And then we have the Big Mood Mega Volume and Lifting Mascara in the shade Pitch Black. This one has a silicone wand, and then this one has your traditional kind of wand, but it has that hourglass shape. And from what I understand, they're both supposed to be volumizing. Maybe one is more lifting and one is more lengthening. I believe this one's supposed to be more lengthening and this one more lifting. So let's put these to the test. So I'm going to put the Lash It Loud mascara on my left side, which is your right side. And then I'm going to put the Big Mood mascara on my right side, which is your left side. So let's see what mascara is the best one, or which one I like the most. This was $7, and again, I got mine in Pitch Black. I like how chunky the packaging is, and I love that it's purple. Purple's my favorite color. There's a little close-up for you. Okay, that's one coat of the Big Mood mascara. Now let's go in with one coat of the Lash It Loud. This one has a silicone wand, and I believe this is supposed to be like volumizing and lengthening, where the other one is supposed to be volumizing and lifting, I believe. I really like this one so far. Now let's go in with a second coat of the Lash It Loud. I feel like they're both pretty lifting and volumizing, but I do really love a silicone wand. So maybe with this one, it's probably more of your preference on the wand rather than formula, because I feel like the formulas are a lot of like the same. They both seem like a whipped kind of formula. Neither of them are like too wet or anything. I really like them both. Let me put some on the lower lash. See, I like how this one gets into the lower lashes. Honestly, I thought there would be more of a difference with these two. I guess another thing is you would have to see how it wore throughout the day. Is it going to clump? Is it going to flake? Is it going to rub off? I think I almost like the Lash It Loud one better, but I'll still use both of them. Like, they're both really, really good. I guess, yeah, the true test is to see how it wears throughout the day. So e.l.f. I don't think has any lip liners. I'm not sure actually. They might on their website, but I do have their lip plumping glosses. I have one from the Mint Melt collection, and then I have just one of their regular ones, and these actually look a lot alike. The one from the Mint Melt collection is in the shade Mint Chocolate, and then the regular one is in Mocha Twist. They just have different undertones, but both really pretty. I think I want to go in with the one from the Mint Melt collection just because it's newer. These do have that light mint smell, which I enjoy. And I'm assuming where it's a lip plumping gloss like the other ones, it does give you a little bit of that a little bit of a tingling feeling. Really like this formula. It's a little bit stickier than their regular lip plumping glosses. And also their regular lip plumping glosses have a different wand. I'll just show you the two to compare. So these are the two wands. One's like more of a flat, sort of like concealer wand. And then the other one has like kind of a dip to it, so it hugs to your lip really nicely. And last but not least, I'm gonna go in with the Makeup Mist and Set Spray. This is about $5. It's like 2 ounces of product. It's a really small bottle, but this is like a classic e.l.f. product. I have never tried it before, but I've been wanting to, so I'm gonna use this to set the face. Okay guys, that's my full face of e.l.f. makeup. Loved everything so far. As long as nothing breaks me out, love every single product. The mascara, I'll try to see if, you know, how they wear throughout the day, and maybe I'll try to update you guys. But other than that, just thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!